Hey there, you me DC fans, and welcome if you are new. I am the Stepson of Krypton,
And I am Mantis.
and today we're going to bring you a extremely long video. No, just kidding. Just saying that because every time we say we're going to bring you a short video, it doesn't turn out that way, probably because of this shit right here. So we are going to discuss really quickly in a video about James Gunn has apparently found his John Stewart for the Lanterns show. Mantis, I don't care if you're ready. We're jumping right on into the discussion. We don't have time for this shit. All right, guys. So it has been announced who is going to be the John Stewart. Now, we have done multiple episodes over potential castings of not only Hal Jordan for the Lanterns, which got confirmed. We've already done a video on that. I will have it linked, as well as there'll be a thing popping up below that you can't click on. It's just there to look beautiful for the videos. But we now have confirmed because there was a lot of rumors going on. We did the video on that as well. Who is going to be the John Stewart Mantis? Do you want to do the big reveal?
Drum roll. It is going to be...
I can't keep this shit up forever!
In a twist of fate, it's going to be... Oh, no, it's going to be Aaron Pierre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Many of you may not know who that is. He is a relatively unheralded actor. I was going to say new actor, but he's not really new. Because as we found out, or as Cal told me before we came on this video, he's actually starred, not even starred, I guess he kind of starred in it. He was a prominent actor in the sci-fi series Krypton. So he's been in another DC show before, which... Again, kind of plug here. If you haven't seen Krypton, it was one of those made-for-TV series on Sci-Fi. Which, man, I love Sci-Fi. Some of their shows were great, and this show was pretty good too. It kind of made me mad when they canceled it, and I don't know the reason why. I guess I'll look that up. But in any event, yeah, Aaron Pierre is the Hal Jordan for the Lantern series, and he will be alongside, which we made a video on this as well, Kyle Chandler, who is playing Hal Jordan. So, yeah.
So I'm more stuck on the how is he heralded? Because if you're a herald, you're a person or thing of a sign of things to come. How has he been a heralded actor? I'm just giving him shit. But he is a sign of things to come, right? Because we are getting we know, and there was a lot of issues when Josh Brolin was in talks to play Green Lantern, and now Kyle Chandler, both being older. That we were going to get a younger, kind of an unknown for John Stewart, right? And that's what they've done. He has some credits, again, as Mantis had said that I said, being in Krypton. I didn't know. I loved the show, but I didn't know either. I had one on IMDb. I was like, oh, he was on Krypton. And then I acted like I knew what I was talking about. I didn't recognize the name. So, I'm in the same boat, right? But that was the whole point, right? They want to get somebody unknown and you put them up against a seasoned actor because Hal Jordan, Kyle Chandler, is going to be training John Stewart / Aaron Pierre. So everything's in line with what he wanted right now. Clearly,
yeah,
Aaron Pierre is familiar with the DC world from, he was on most of the episodes of Krypton is what it looks like. So,
well, also kind of, you asked, or you mentioned, how is he heralded? Well, let me answer that because you were right. He actually is starring currently as lead in the Rebel Ridge on Netflix, which is the #1 streaming title currently 3 weeks in a row. So that's doing real well with that. He played in a couple other Nat Geo series as Malcolm X. He played in The Underground Railroad, which is an award-winning series as well. He also has Canadian Screen Award, Vancouver Film Critics. Maybe he's from Canada. I didn't actually see where he's from, but it sounds like he may be Canada, but also a nominee for, or these are all the Vancouver Film Critics Circle and the Image Awards in AACP. He's both a nominee for, or was a nominee for the Image Award and VFCC Award for those. A couple other ones that I don't want to really read or you give two shits about, so I'm not going to go over them. But he's also set to come in as next up actor for Mufasa, and I'm going to say it like Mufasa.
R.I.P. James Earl Jones, who's been voicing him even in the newest one. Aaron Pierre is born in London, England.
Oh, okay. So I was not even close.
Yeah, across the pond.
Yeah, he's more. I mean, he's quite frankly, he's more of an American than he would be an English if he was from Canada. I assume because maybe he got the awards from Canada, maybe he's from there, but clearly. Canada just wants to start giving awards to people to sound relevant, so that's about what that is. Yeah, but it looks like also here, it says here he reportedly beat out the piano lesson actor Stephen James for the role. So he wasn't obviously a first one. Maybe they kind of put him in a boxing ring and
let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah, just beat the shit out of him. But either way, they several other prominent actors passed on this role because we did a couple of videos, or not this role specifically, but the role as a Lantern in the Lantern series with Josh Brolin, Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Could you imagine that though? If like he's like blocking Sinestro and he's like, all right. That made his construct better. Like,
yes. All right. Oh, that would have been good.
You know what I like about Guardians? I get older, they stay the same age. They sure do. They sure do. God, I've been so classic. I love that.
Yep. Would have been good, but.
We have a chance here, right? We have said this before. Marvel, all of Hollywood's kind of gone on this. There's been, I don't want to bring up because we don't like to get into it, but all of the DEI kind of BS that a lot of people complain about. We're not going to go into it, right? That's not the focus of this. But you have John Stewart, who is a well-known, very documented in the comics, in the animated series, as one of your core lanterns. Humanoid lanterns, that like never got explored. This is a perfect opportunity. And, like seeing him as a young actor and kind of like just kind of up and coming, I would say, based off how many, credits he has, this is a great opportunity to explore that. Right. Pair him with the older Hal Jordan. I'd like him to kind of learn from Hal Jordan, and then when Hal, if you're going to go with like Blackest Night kind of timeline and things like that, and Hal Jordan becomes Parallax and all this stuff, it'd be great, right? And a series is where you could really explore it, right? So I think it'd be great. I think it's going to be great for the character John Stewart.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, we talked about this previously, that James Gunn has already put in motion where several of his series or the series in the DCU and the movies in the DCU kind of do this, right? They intertwine. So I would be looking like in this, a good point you made, like exploring this character. He can be in other movies. He can have his own movie. He can do all of these things. And I think they should lean into it. And again, it's been a minute since I've watched Krypton, and I haven't seen any of these films or series that he's in, like, because I don't watch Netflix streaming, whatever number one is. I'm sure you can go find reactions to it right now on YouTube somewhere, because that's what people do. But I love that show, and I don't remember a bad actor in it. But we were looking up before. He was head of, or not head of,
Dev
I think he was a part of. Yeah, House M.
House M.
EM.
Wait, we said that.
Yeah, he has a pretty cool symbol too for House M as well. So, which is another reason you should go watch that series, because they explore the houses and how they work, and it's so cool.
You got to see it a little bit in Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman in the 4th season. They explore that in Smallville. I'd say season 9. Once the Kryptonians come in, you get to a little bit more of it, and you get to see, because with Zod and everything. So it's nice for a series and kind of to give more information on the houses and the symbols that they wear on their chest. It's great to see that, right? And Krypton is a good series for that because we are kind of getting to see. It's the only series that I know of, live action ish series, right? Or even I'd say animated that goes into the past, right? We're dealing with what happens before Superman.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, you can see the things. I know we're getting off on a tangent here where this is supposed to be a Lanterns thing, but I will say one last thing about the Krypton. If you're kind of wondering what it's about and the how it feels, like how the show feels, like in Man of Steel, like the first, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes of that film where they're on Krypton before it blows up and it's all kind of techie and cool. Like that's kind of what it reminds me of. They don't go into the it's not as flashy because they didn't have the budget, obviously. But it's a lot of politics and that type of stuff. And yeah, anyway.
So yeah, that wasn't a tangent because it involves the actor that is playing John Stewart. Okay. So it all ties together. Okay, so
true.
You know what? That was not a tangent, guys.
Kiss our ass. Kiss our ass.
Kiss my ass. Kiss his ass. Kiss your ass. Happy Hanukkah.
Exactly. But I'm excited. I like to see, again, I think it was a great idea to have the younger actor because what that means is that obviously Hal Jordan is in the current times, he was the first Green Lantern as far as who becomes. Obviously, there is more into the history of the Green Lanterns. I'm not going to go into it because I keep promising you guys, and I swear to God, I'm almost close. But I do have a Green Lantern video coming out that is going to explain he's obviously not the original Green Lantern in the comics. We will go into it all though. I just don't want to spoil it yet. That's coming up in the video.
Awesome. I can't wait to watch that, by the way.
I'm working on it. Maybe I got a 3-day weekend off. Maybe we'll get into it then. But as far as for what everybody knows, and especially live actions and animated and all that stuff, he's basically the first because the character kind of gets retconned and all that. But he's the first, and then obviously John Stewart comes in, and then Guy Gardner and things, which kind of looks like they might be taking some liberties with that. It depends on when the Lantern series timeline is, right? If it's running concurrent or not. Because typically what we've known is Hal Jordan and then John Stewart and then Guy Gardner comes in after the fact. The fact that we have an older Nathan Fillion playing Guy Gardner in the Superman, that movie that we've seen, but being a young John Stewart, I got to kind of feel like maybe timelines are a little shifted. I think that would be great. We did a whole video on that where we talked about the Lanterns. If they did that, that'd be cool. But I'm excited to see the character explored. Because, guys, like, realistically, like, don't get me wrong. I love Hal Jordan. I love Ryan Reynolds. I didn't care for what they did for him in Green Lantern. But I love Hal Jordan. But I do want to see these other characters explored. I just want it done in a positive way, in a good way. Like, I need story. I need the character to be written well, right? So I'm excited with a series, with an HBO Max budget. Time. Yeah, yes, they can do well with it. So,
God. Yeah, I was just going to say kind of my final thoughts and piggybacking off what you were saying. One, like you said, we discussed the timeline stuff. It could be the Lanterns are in the past, and the Superman movie, the current DCU that the movies are going to be based off of, are in the future. It also could be, which hopefully they don't do this, but it could be something with like time travel and whatnot. But I hope they don't. I really hope they don't do that. But again, you're right. Like the fact that this is a series, not just a movie, is really played into the part where they can explain the character a lot more. And as we're seeing with the Penguin, which hopefully we can do another video on the Penguin, man, Max is such a great platform to put the series on. They got the budget to do it. They know what they're fucking doing. I just can't wait to see what they do. It's gonna.
My thing is, you would need like an entire season, especially when you think of a Max series or any of the streaming platforms. Usually, they're between 7 and 10 episodes. You would need that, and he mentioned Penguin. The first episode's like an hour and 20 minutes. It's damn near a short feature length film. But even if you go with the standard, it used to be like 48 minutes and 40 seconds or 45 minutes 40 seconds was the standard for fucking shows that came out like Smallville, right?
Yeah,
even if you
on
go
TV.
with the standard 45, with commercial breaks, 45 to an hour long, you would need an entire season to go over the Blackest Night timeline, what happens in Blackest Night, to set it up well, right? Where people who, are fans of it are loving it, but then people who aren't as familiar would understand it. You're going to need a season, right? And that's why TV with a max budget, something with, damn near movie long, because some of these series are like, it's a season, but it's getting $150 million budget. It's getting a movie's budget, which, man, you're thinking almost an hour an episode, 8 to 10 episodes. You're putting out 3 movies in that one budget, right? So, and it's making you a shit ton of money, like Stranger Things, all these shows, they're making you serious money. So, you invest that money into it. Because that's honestly kind of where you need to go, because people don't want to, like, you wouldn't want to do the Blackest Night timeline on like a 3 or 2 movie series, like, maybe you might be able to pull it off, but you're still going to lose a lot of people. A whole season that people could binge and watch basically almost as a long episode. Absolutely.
Yeah. And people come back to watch series, right? Like I feel like people's tendencies to keep streaming platforms is based off of rewatchability. And the rewatchability of a good series is way higher, And I think, like we've said it, like HBO Max is killing it right now. It's just freaking killing it. Don't get me wrong, that Netflix has their good shows too. There's several good series on there, but man, the last couple series I've watched on Max have been, specifically even just DC, has been so good. So,
but you know what I love about all the series, the streaming platforms, is like, we had like Stranger Things, The Witcher. We have all these series that come out on Netflix pretty close to one another, and then it dies off, right? And people cancel their memberships. But then, like, Disney Plus was bringing out some for a while there. It died off. We're not going to talk about it. But then HBO Max it's like, now it's their time. So you can kind of jump from platform to platform, and they do really well. And then when everything goes on a break to do the next season, like Amazon Prime, we had Reacher, for the people who don't really like Lord of the Rings. You had Rings of Power, all those things going on. You had those things, and then it's like Amazon Prime drops off for a little bit. So it's like you can kind of jump from streaming platform to streaming platform and get really good shows and watch it to completion. And if it's a great series, you do like I do. Being ADHD, I have it on in the background while I'm doing other shit, just because I'm like, well, at least I can hear it and I can remember the episode. That's the telltale sign of a good series, is when your ADHD can use it as background noise.
I think I've watched Stargate probably, or I should say this, I had Stargate playing on my TV probably, I don't know, 20 seasons, like 20 times through all 10 seasons, just like as many times as actually played. Now watching, it's completely different. But like you said, there's times I'm like you, I'm ADHD, I just throw shit on the TV, whether I'm watching it or not. I'll watch walking past the TV as I'm going in here, or whatever.
I remember that episode. Then you're like catching the parts and you remember what's going on the screen. That's because we're insane. Let us know in the comments. Are you the same way? Are you insane? Do you do those same things? Do you have, what is your series of choice that you put on as background noise? It'd be interesting to know that and make us feel a little bit better that we're not completely crazy. Yeah. And then
we can start a support group.
How do you feel as far as like, if you have particular feelings on Aaron Pierre? I gotta imagine with as few credits as he has, I don't think anybody's gonna say that, oh my God, he's terrible. He deserves a chance. I like the idea that they're doing the young John Stewart. But how do you feel about the exploring, and are you excited for them to exploring the John Stewart kind of up and coming, right? We're going to find out probably through flashbacks all the crazy shit that's going on with Hal Jordan, but we're going to get to see all the new stuff with John Stewart. Are you excited for that? I'm right there with you, Arrow fans who wanted to see It's David Ramsey, but I keep thinking of Dave Ramsey because I've been watching a lot of his financial stuff. But Dave Ramsey playing John Stewart, who was John Diggle in the Arrow series. like, yeah, I would have loved to have seen that. Like, that would have been awesome. Because there was talks he was going to be in the HBO series. I kind of wish he would have gotten a shot for it because I love David Ramsey. I think he did great as John Diggle. He was a great addition to the show. Well, I say addition. He was in there from basically he was in there from episode
First
1.
season. First episode. Yeah.
First episode. But I think he was great. I'd love how they tied that in. I would love to see him play John Stewart. I get having
He's
a complete
one,
breakaway. But he was amazing. I would have loved to have seen him at least get a screen test to get a shot. But I get it. But let us know how you feel about that.
Yeah.
And if you've made it with us this far, consider giving this. See, I said in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, it's going to be a long video." Just joking. It's not.
I know.
It's a long
it actually
fucking
was
video.
Longer. Yeah, it happens. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't matter what we say. So
we have no control over it. But what we do,
like and subscribe. Oh, did I rush it? Oh, fuck, I rushed it.
We have control over where it's going to show up because he's vigorously pointing at his crotch. So I have control over where the like and subscribe buttons are at least going to show you where. It's not actually where the buttons are.
You don't click. You don't click on the floating thing. That doesn't do anything. Maybe that's why our numbers are shit. Guys, don't click on the floaty thing. Click on the thumbs up underneath the video. Sorry.
I need to have an arrow going from where the floaty thing is to where the actual button is, right? Because apparently people are missing that. Just like what you are missing if you aren't subscribed and click the bell notifications, you're missing all of the other videos we have coming out because we have a lot of content. Guys, we are a very small channel. We are trying to grow. We are trying to grow for you guys, but we have a lot of content coming out. Maybe some's not great. Maybe some's amazing. Maybe you love it. Let us know. If there are things you think we should be doing, we shouldn't be doing. We're open to constructive criticism. And notice I use the words constructive criticism. Saying we're stupid is not constructive criticism because we already know that.
Yeah,
right?
Even if it's true, okay?
It
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Telling me I'm stupid. I already know that. Tell me something I don't know. Okay? That's what we need you to do in the comments for, guys. Mantis, do you have anything else?
Don't forget to spay and neuter your pets.
Okay, Bob Barker. So that's going to wrap it for us here on this episode of You, Me, and DC, especially if you haven't spayed and neutered your pets. Until next time, we will see you then.
Later.